Today, we're going to look at the Canon R8 with the Canon RF 14-35 f4 lens to see if it's any good for video and vlogging. Let's go. What's up everybody? Phil with Photo Gear Fun here. Today I've got this Canon R8, just got this on a Black Friday deal. It was $1,200, which is $300 off. And I'm going to test it with this RF 14-35 lens, which is a $1,200 lens if you don't get it on sale. I got it on sale for $900. So altogether I'm $2,100 in. How does this compare to other vlog rigs? There is no IBIS in this camera. So right now what you're seeing is the best stabilization. We're at 14 millimeters. We're at f4 and the shutter speed's a little high, but I'm trying to not worry about proper motion blur. Anyway, just want to get the correct exposure. And so we're going to check out the other modes. This lens does have optical stabilization, so the optical stabilization is on and the digital is in enhanced, which is the best stabilization that you can get. Check it out. I did a video on this lens with my R5 and the IBIS just looked really bad. You can watch that video up here, but this, actually my testing initially inside looks pretty good. Hopefully it looks good outside too. It could be a viable option. The lens is pretty light, camera's pretty light. Again, this is 14 millimeters with enhanced on. So what I'll do now is turn it to just enabled, and you'll see that there is a digital crop. That crop will be less, and you'll get a wider field of view. So let's go ahead and check it out with just standard image stabilization. Okay, here we are. This is electronic image stabilization on. You can see the field of view is wider. How's the stabilization look? So this is the second best that you can get. And what I'll do is I'll turn digital stabilization off. There is image stabilization on the lens, so we'll get an idea on just how the lens itself does. But yeah, this is with just digital stabilization, so the crop is less than with enhanced. So if you want a wider field of view, it's still pretty wide, but now you're 14 millimeters on a full frame camera. This R8 is a full frame camera. Again, no IBIS, but Canon does some magic with their digital stabilization. I don't know how they do it, but they do it better than anybody else for sure. And this is an example, hopefully an example of it. We'll see. We'll get the video back to the studio, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and then just turn it to optical stabilization, and then I'll show you the zoom range with optical stabilization so you get an idea on the entire zoom range. But next up is just going to be optical stabilization. Okay, so here we are with just optical stabilization. So this is the least amount of stabilization you can get if you have stabilization on. This will give you the widest field of view. This may be good enough. Their optical stabilization is pretty good in these lenses. We can compare the two. We'll do a side by side with the enhanced here, and then this is with no stabilization, no digital stabilization, but just lens stabilization. So you can see the difference here between the most or the best stabilization and then the least stabilization. All right, so I'm going to show you the zoom range on this 14-35. We'll focus in on the fountain here, and we'll see what the zoom range looks like. All right, so here is the fountain at 14 millimeters. We'll zoom on into 35. So that's 35. And we're zooming out to 14. So if you wanted to get even more range, you could turn on the enhanced stabilization, which will give you a crop. But I just wanted to show you the pure 14 to 35. All right, let's wrap up this quick look at the Canon R8 with the RF 13-35 lens. Okay, here we are back on the best stabilization. This is 14 millimeters with enhanced digital image stabilization. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like these types of videos, please consider subscribing. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Tell me how you think this one did, and tell me if you want to see any more R8 videos. I'm actually going to do an R8 video with the RF 24-105 as well. That should be coming up. I'm actually going to do it after this one. But let me know what you thought this combo did. Get out there and have your photo gear fun, and I will talk at you again in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.